Okay, welcome. Today we're talking about the eighth of the 48 ways to wisdom, Simcha, joy. Now, we all want to live life happily. We want to be happy. When we're happy, we perform better. There's no doubt, we learn better. We play sports better. We are better parents. We're just we just act better when we're happy. And it feels so good. So why are we not happy all the time? Well, one answer might just be laziness. I heard once that just smiling uses maybe 10 times as many muscles in your face as no smile at all. So maybe sometimes we're just lazy. But it definitely has to do sometimes with not being able to control other emotions like anger and frustration, things like that. When those creep in on us, we forget about the pleasures of life and just how good life is. So let's see. We want to master the power of joy, of simcha. So the Orhot Tzadikim, famous book, writes, all the goodness that comes from simcha is the opposite of worry. So think about an amazing time in your life, your wedding, a time, your last day of school, whatever. It's a great time in your life. You're just worry free, and it feels good to just not having those worries on our mind, because a lot of the time worries are on our minds and that can get us down a bit. We talked about this previously. Children are in a natural state of happiness until they fall and they hurt themselves and then they start crying or they don't get their way. But generally, you look at a child, they're playing, they're running around, they're laughing, they're having a good time. With adults, it's kind of, we learn the opposite. It's kind of a lot of people a bit of a grumpy, state until little things make them happy. So anyway, we want to try to be in a constantly happy state where we just appreciate what we have in our lives, right? So, and we shouldn't just wait for our annual vacation to make that our happy time. We should live to be happy, day in, day out, through the good and through the bad. Easier said than done, but that's why this is a skill that needs to be worked on. It's not autopilot that we just live our lives happily. We have to really work on it. Okay, so it says in the Pirkei Avot that jealousy, relenting material desire, and status seeking remove a person from the world. So those three things, again, jealousy, craving too much material items, and trying to improve our status, kavod, are things that make a person actually miserable, So we should try to avoid jealousy. We should try to avoid the urge to want to just acquire more and more riches. And we should try to tone down the amount that we want to climb the ladder and, get promoted and be the president. And, so just keeping those three things in mind, those are three things that can actually take away from happiness. It's interesting that in the morning, a lot of our blessings, we bless Hashem. Thank you for giving me life, that I can see, that I can use my hands and feet, that I can think. We make all these beautiful blessings in the morning when we're half asleep. And then sometimes throughout the day, we can kind of, these ideas can kind of escape us, being thankful constantly. So we should keep these brachot that we say in the morning with us all day long. Now, we all have problems in life. We all have things that bother us. So we need to deal with these problems properly. First way is to solve them. Don't just get sad by problems on our minds. Try to figure out, is there something I can do about it, that will make me less bothered by this issue. If it's something that can't be solved right away, then at least find a way that we can kind of let it roll off our back, it says here, to just kind of not be constantly on our minds, so that we know that we have this issue. It's going to take time to work it out, but let's not let it consume us so that we will be in a constant state of misery, right? Because we want to be happy as much as possible, okay? A big concept here is when you come home, don't bring your problems to other people, to your family, wife and kids, leave the problems at the door from work. We don't want our sadness to and worry and all these negative things to rub off on other people because they're very contagious. We want our happiness to rub off on other people and make other people happier being around us. So Rav Noach Weinberg had a very had a principles of the 5 levels of pleasure, where I'll just to summarize it, the lowest level is like material possessions, and the highest level is closeness to the Almighty, right? So being close to Hashem is what makes us happiest in life. It's also not always easy, but it makes us very, very happy. It gives us a really deep pleasure. And one of the ways to connect to Hashem is through learning Torah. So we know that even though, again, it's hard sometimes, hard to make time in the day for it, whatever, Torah is something that makes us happy because it makes us getting closer to Hashem. Okay? And we can also obviously do the mitzvot and chesed, things like that. Doing what the Almighty wants of us can also give us a deep sense of satisfaction, more than just eating 100 steaks a day or something like that. If we actually give tzedakah or go and help people, things like that, it's hard work, but it's something that you'll be proud of for life. And a lot of times the things we're most proud of in life are the things that we worked hardest for. Actually, most of the time, that's how it goes. So the greatest joy really comes from working hard and from doing Hashem's will, to be a giver, to be doing, and not just giving, not just taking, right? We should do kivud abayim and help our parents, help our communities, our families, and that will give us lots of joy if we know that we're really giving back to people and appreciating them, and it will also make them appreciate you. So let's see, when you wake up in the morning, try to start the day off on a good day. Say Modeh Ani, thank Hashem that we've been given this day, a beautiful day of life to do great things. And we should try to maintain that simcha throughout the day. So just to recap, simcha gives us the power to perform at our best and not worry. Simcha is not our natural state. It's something that we need to work on, especially as we get older. Solve problems and try not to worry too much about them. Learn Torah, because the best simcha is kiruv, is getting close to Hashem. Devekut, say, clinging to Hashem. So learn Torah, do mitzvot, and another thing is that, I forgot one thing, is that it says here that we must do mitzvot b'simcha. If we do every obligation under the sun, it doesn't matter if you didn't do it b'simcha, because as it says in Dvarim, because you did not serve Hashem, your God, with joy and goodness of heart, because you did not serve Hashem, your God, with joy and gladness of heart. We must serve Hashem with joy, or else it's not worth anything. So the whole Chumash ends with all these ideas of, doing the mitzvah b'simcha in the right state of mind. Very, very important. So let's live our lives b'simcha and realize that, like any of these 48 ways, it takes a lot of work and strategy, and we should eliminate worry, and we should increase simcha. And we know that through the beautiful cycle of the Jewish year, there's a lot of beautiful things to be happy about with the Chagim and Shabbat, Smachot. So let's give thanks to Hashem and be b'simcha. Thanks.